So, at my girlfriend's apartment, we're not at our house. I had to drive all yesterday and stuff and get us out here. And then the girls ended up wanting to stay up till almost 4 in the morning. It's been happening a lot lately. And it doesn't matter what time I go to bed. I wake up at 10:30 or 11, like clockwork. I have to set an alarm if there's an appointment earlier than that. But if there's an appointment after that, I don't actually need an alarm because I'll wake up. I could have gone to bed at 6 a.m. I could have gone to bed at 9 a.m. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to wake up. And that's frustrating because my appointment was today. Is what it is. I don't know what to expect for the appointment, and I don't know what's gonna happen with the appointment. I wanted to be all like alert and chipper for it, and I feel like this is a little impossible. I feel like there's already not time for anything, and I'm trying to add a process that will require a lot of appointments into a life that already I feel like there's not a lot of time to do anything that I actually would like to do. Like, I feel a lot of stress because I don't get things done that I want to get done. I don't know how long we're going to be here. It depends on our girlfriend's appointments coming up over the next couple of days. And if they're going to like rush her in or not for, surgery on her wisdom teeth and stuff. So I don't know. Everything feels up in the air, and I feel like an idiot for adding appointments to that. Like, my life's not consistent. What can happen in a day isn't consistent. Whether someone's going to be sick or having panic attacks, or if there's going to be, some sort of drama going on, or outbursts of rage, or sobbing, or my life's not consistent. I am the consistent thing in my life. Me. I'm the consistent person. People like to make me promises about how things are going to be, but people don't really follow through. I haven't found a way to talk to my dad, but my mom hasn't really talked to me too much, even though she was like, oh, I wish I could hold your hand through this process and stuff. Probably because I'm not interested in talking to my father. My baby sister, I flat out bought her Guild Wars 2 so we could play together. We've played together twice, and they were both before I actually bought her the game. I sent her some gold in the game. She couldn't even remember if she got it. My brother and sister-in-law, we were supposed to get Mythic plus 15s together, and I realize my life has been hectic as crap, but they never once were like, hey, are we scheduling a time to do this? I always had to be the one who was like, hey, so are we doing Mythic Pluses on, such and such night? My friends are so inconsistent that they can go literally half a year without talking to me and it'd be fine. And I'll every once in a while drop a hey, hope life's treating you well or something like that. Sometimes they respond, sometimes not. I'm not the best at staying in contact with people, but I do try to remember at least every few weeks or so to send some sort of something. I feel very alone. And my girlfriend was trying to be supportive somewhat, and, stuff, but she also walked into this apartment and immediately threw her stuff everywhere. It looked nice when we walked in because I had cleaned it when we moved in. And then we went back to our place. This is the first time we've been back here, and it's a disaster. We've been here for less than 24 hours. And she always promises that the clutter and the just throwing stuff on the floor and everything's not going to be how we live for the rest of our lives. But that's not true. I've always wanted a very simple life, and I'm inviting yet more complication into my world. And that feels foolish. I feel like I'm an idiot. At the same time, I don't want to go through my life feeling all the other terrible things that I feel. I don't know how I'm going to do this alone and accomplish this. And people can promise me up the wazoo that they're going to be there, but that's not true in my experience. From my entire life. In reality, I'm going to get through this the same way that I always get through things. There's going to be one or two moments where someone reaches out and impacts me in a positive way, and I'm going to cling to those moments because the entire rest of the process will be utterly alone. And I will have to figure out how to make it work around everyone else's needs, and that will be that. So in reality, nothing's actually changed. For the functionality of life, I realized that I've been living as a man openly for more than 3.5 months, coming up on 4 months, and living as a man has not been any different than living as a woman, except there's been moments of relief, and I used to not have moments of relief. So I appreciate the moments of relief. very much. But in reality, there's parts of your life that just cannot be changed by you changing. Other people have to be willing to change in order for something to happen, and so just nothing happens. I don't know what to do about all these appointments that I'm supposed to magically make happen. I'm gonna have to find babysitters to even be able to go to them. Someone to watch my spouse every time. I'm gonna have to drive myself there and back. I'm gonna have to figure out how long it actually is gonna be and take so I can try to get the babysitters. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it, because there's gonna be appointments where the people in my life are screaming or are crying or are in shock or trembling or curled up in a fetal position, and I'm gonna have to deal with that while dealing with my appointment. It's already happened before just with therapy. I mean, it wasn't even, 2 weeks ago when my therapy appointment ended with someone screaming, throwing a fit, and me having to share the end of my therapy appointment with the girls because it can't just be what I need. I'm not allowed to just have needs. I'm not allowed to just be human. I don't understand how I can constantly be there for other people and yet constantly be an inconvenience just by existing. It's a very upsetting paradox. But it's just somehow always true. I try really hard, and I fail at a lot of things solely because my life's not consistent enough for me to succeed. I know part of the reason we're not doing the Mythic Pluses is because I just could not get my rogue the right DPS, and I missed Strike Through when it came around as corruption, and I just couldn't get Strike Through. I missed a bunch of Severes. I couldn't do stuff. And part of it is I hate farming assaults. And part of why I hate farming assaults is they're so time consuming. I don't have time consistently to invest into bringing a rogue up from nothing so that I can do 12 Mythic Pluses at 15 plus. So it's a paradox, because on the one hand, my brother and sister-in-law don't feel like they ever tried to make time for it. But on the other hand, they probably feel like I didn't really try to get my rogue there either. I'm acutely aware that I was the worst one. I mean, I hate being the worst one, but I also didn't know what to do about it. I keep making these little goals in Guild Wars 2. Like, almost none of them are happening at all. I finally got one of my goals accomplished in Elder Scrolls Online. That was something, yes. I realized when I came here to a girlfriend's place that we don't know how long we're going to be here, but it's going to be at least a few days, and I have no protein, like at all, so I don't know how I'm going to exercise, but I'm going to try, but I don't have any protein, so I'm basically just burning calories and not gaining any muscle, which sucks. I'm worried about my appointment because I've heard some guys say that before they could get on testosterone, they had to be within certain ranges of things health-wise. I mean, I've never had high cholesterol. I've never had high blood pressure. I've never had, anything but perfect blood sugar, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know if that's what they care about. I don't know what it is, but I've heard that from a couple of guys, so I don't know what the criteria for that is. I don't know. I'm a little scared about my voice changing. On the one hand, I'm desperate to come across it with a male voice, and on the other hand, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hum anymore, or sing songs, or recognize it when I'm off tune if I have a different voice. I've heard that happens a lot, actually. And I'm worried that when I take the testosterone, I'm really worried about my hair falling out. Not as worried about the acne, which is very odd because the acne when we were the three, me and my two closest brothers, were all 1 year apart from each other, so we all went through it together, and the acne is just awful. And I don't know. I know I can survive it, I guess. I don't know what they're gonna ask. I don't know if it's gonna be like this questionnaire thing at this appointment, or if it's just gonna be finding out what I'm hoping to get from the trans system, or if it's gonna be like a bunch of mumbo jumbo. I realized maybe I should have brought some of my medical papers or something with me, and I didn't. So hopefully they don't ask for anything like that. I don't even know, the phone number and address to any of my doctors or shit. Not prepared. Don't know what's gonna happen. All I know is I'm just adding a ton of stress to my life in the hopes that it's temporary and that for the rest of my life it removes stress from my life. There was one good thing though. My girlfriend and me spent a bunch of time before we came out here looking up my insurance and stuff, and most of my transition would be covered with my insurance, so thank you for that to them. Some of it is slow, but it's there. Anyway, I gotta go get up my spouse so she can do her appointment. But yeah,